We're gonna take a trip right now. Like we always do about this time.
This is a journey into sound.
Break it down.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. Up first, on this week's show, I'll speak with the Indianapolis-based vocalist Oltanie. Her music features a blend of Caribbean and West African sounds.
My sounds more like Afro and with the Caribbean taste. I do mix it a little bit.
And on the second half of the broadcast, I'll speak with the Indianapolis musician Rodney Stepp, best known for his work with the Spinners. In the late 1970s, Rodney left the Spinners to form Rapture, a legendary Indianapolis funk band. A new compilation of Rapture's music, featuring a lost session the group recorded in 1977, was recently issued by California's Now Again Records. Rodney will join me to share his thoughts on Rapture.
It's almost unbelievable. Dreams do come true. You recorded this music 48 years ago, and it's being released to the public for the very first time.
And we'll also hear from the soul music legend Babyface. His band Manchild were one of Rapture's biggest rivals.
The group that started to rise above everyone was Rapture. At one point, they were it.
Oltanie Charles is a Haitian-American vocalist based in Indianapolis. She's earned international attention for her dynamic fusion of Caribbean and Afro-pop sounds. I recently spoke with Oltanie. Let's join our conversation. Oltanie, thank you so much for taking time to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I was just telling you, it's been about 3 years since you last visited WFYI.
Yeah.
During that time, you've really grown your music, your art, your career in exciting ways. First of all, just congratulations on all the success you've had.
Thank you. I can believe it's been 3 years already.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah, but you've done a lot. I've seen you on your Instagram posting photos from award shows you've been involved with, BET Awards, Caribbean Music Awards.
Yes.
You've been in Nigeria, I think, recently.
Yes, I have.
Tell us a bit about what you've been doing to spread your music to the world.
Actually, what I've been doing is stay consistent and put my work out there. When I release the singles, I always, release the videos as well. And travel. I don't do a lot of shows, but some shows in different states and traveling. I had participated last year in a Caribbean Achievement Award. I had one for the best Caribbean Afro-pop music. I've done multiple things, traveled to Nigeria. My latest song, which is Badi, I shot it in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, Africa was always, the place I always wanted to visit. So I'm like, why not come with, something? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the song and video for Batty in a minute. But first, I'm curious if Indianapolis has been a good place for you to be based out of as an artist. When people think of Indianapolis, they don't think of Caribbean music. Mm-hmm. But I think you and other people here are changing that. You've had a lot of success with your music living here in the city. Is it hard to be in Indianapolis and make this kind of music? And do you have an audience here? Tell me about it.
It's been challenging. It's very challenging doing music in here because this state is very different in the music industry, not just music, the entertainment. I'm from Florida, and most of my work been outside this state, but which is fine with me. But if you really want to grow, I think out of the state will be better because most of my work is out of states because we don't really have like award shows, red carpet event. We don't really have those big events for us artists that's growing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so you travel a lot to get your music out to
Yes, I
listeners.
travel a lot, yeah.
Last time you were here, we talked a lot about the sound of your music. I think the foundation of your sound is Haitian compa music, but Afro beats, West African popular dance music has more and more become a big part of your sound.
Yeah.
How do you describe your music?
Afro-Caribbean. Yeah. So I'm from Haiti originally. We do compa, but my sound's more like Afro and with the Caribbean taste. You know, not 100% Afro. And some of my music is 100% Afro, but I do mix it a little bit. But I don't do compas. Like, you're going to find one of my songs that's compa.
Yeah. It's an influence, but not the dominant sound.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just the Caribbean Afro-pop artist. Yeah. Thank
you for clarifying that.
No problem.
I want to go ahead and share an example of your work. We've been talking about your latest single, Baddie, which has a great video. It's been viewed over 300,000 times on YouTube in a short period of time, too.
Yes.
This is a collaboration with a Nigerian artist named Pardon C. Tell us how you met this artist, why you wanted to work with him, and I want to ask you about the video, too, but tell us about the song first.
So let's start from how I met the artist. I met him back in Florida. I was living in Florida. I wasn't in the music industry. I mean, I wasn't an artist, but I was in the industry. I was modeling. He was an artist, and I worked. I was doing fashion show, and that's how we connected. And years later, when I become a singer, we was planning to do a music, I think about 2 years ago, but it didn't happen. So now, when I was planning to go to Nigeria, I was like, I'm doing a music just so I can shoot it over there. And I was like, it's going to be good if I collab with a Nigerian artist. So that's when I reached out to him. I'm like, I have this music, like we make connection, and I sent it to him. And he was like, man, this is dope. And I was like, okay, fine, let's record it. And that's how we make it happen. And for the video, he lives here in the States. So I traveled to him so I can record his part. And then when I traveled to Nigeria with all the dancers and the director and everything, and we just put everything together. And here is Baddie. Now, I think it's been, a couple months, since I released it. And we have over 300K views on YouTube. Yeah,
congrats.
It's been successful, yeah.
The video is very cool. There's dancers. Are you in Lagos? Tell us where you are in Nigeria.
In Lagos.
Yeah, what's happening in this video?
Yeah, I was in Lagos. At the same time, we traveled somewhere outside Lagos, but not too far, because we wanted the ghetto sides of Lagos. Because I'm from the States. I'm not gonna go to Lagos and shoot the big buildings and everything. So I want like the real Africa look. So that's why we drove far from the city to get the look that I wanted. Yeah, it's a great video.
You said it had been a dream of yours to visit Nigeria. What was it like when you got there? Did it live up to your dream?
Yeah, it was. It was. And I'm from Haiti, and it just brings a lot of memories back. When I get to the States and the people, the way the street is, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm home, but not like home, but I feel like I was home, because the market, the way the people and the people, they're so nice, they welcoming. I was like, wow, this was wonderful. Like, I really loved the experience. Yeah.
Well, let's listen to your latest single. This is Oltanie with Baddie.
Baddie, 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 baddie. We gonna flex. We are the best. We gonna flex. 'Cause we are blessed. Tout le monde, ceux qui courent, calico, lève pied, shake your body. Everybody, joyeux, joyeux, joyeux.
If I tell you, son, no go shift your pant at the line. No go let this one slide. Let me see how low it's that to. Fangando with taboo.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. My guest this week is the Indianapolis-based vocalist Oltanie. We just heard her latest single, Baddie. And Oltanie, I want to share another song with our listeners. Earlier this year, you released a very positive and uplifting track called Do It. This song has like a big pop feel to it with that Afro-Caribbean sound you talked about earlier. Tell us about this piece, Do It, and did you set out to create something that had this kind of uplifting vibe to it?
Yes, so Do It is like my baby song. So when I wrote this song, I was in the situation where I was pushing myself, where I was transitioning from a hard moment. And I had the vision of everything I always wanted to do, to be. So that's why I sat down. I was like, I'm doing it. So that's how I wrote that song. I was like, whatever you want to do, just do it. Because I was already in the way, making decision that's going to be good for me. And I wanted to motivate others. Like, whatever you want to do, don't just think of what people think about it. It's for you. You have the calling. You have to do what's best for you, for your future. So this is why I wrote that song. I think I wrote it back in 2021, 22. But I didn't release it yet because I was like, I'm not in the phase yet. Let me just wait until I feel more powerful, successful, so I can have a nice music video. And I can say, overall, it was my manifesting time when I wrote that song. And I'm just watching everything happen, and everything is, doing well by the grace of God. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about how you create your music? Are you working with specific producers, musicians? I know some artists, especially in like hip hop, may find a track and they write the song around the track. How do you create your music?
Depend on the music. So for writings, I do write my songs. Producing, I work with a few of producers. So I have Nigerian producers I work with. I have a couple of them. And I have Haitian producers as well. So depend on the project. So a lot of time I record from home. And I do all my work and then I send it over because they're in Nigeria. So I send it over and, we make corrections and everything. And for the videos, my video makers are here. So we just sit down and plan everything. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's listen to Do It. This is, like I said, a great, upbeat, positive song. This is Oltanie with Do It.
I feel good cause I got it. You will never see me in the blue cause I'm happy, yeah. Let me enjoy life, standing on my feet, turn every pen to a blessing, yeah. One thing I know is that I'll be everything I wanna be. Rapture, kawe plamen. Travail, dit pour pas j'en pleine. Success all over me.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. My guest this week is Oltanie, an Indianapolis-based vocalist who creates Afro-Caribbean music. We just heard one of her recent singles, Do It. And Oltanie, I mentioned that it's been about 3 years since we were last here at WFYI. During that time, a lot has changed culturally and politically in the United States with the rise of Donald Trump's second term in office. President Trump and his administration have targeted immigrants and blamed them for so many problems, right? He specifically targeted Haitian immigrants. We saw that in the 2024 election, his election campaign. He spread very dangerous, vicious, ridiculous lies about Haitian people. This caused a lot of problems for Haitians living in the United States. Do you want to say anything about how the local community here in Indianapolis is dealing with this, dealing with the lies that are being spread, dealing with the targeting of immigrants?
It's been tough. It's been tough for us because, we're coming to the country not to, for a living. If home was good, we wouldn't be here fighting. And the way he's treating us over here, the lies, and it's just not fair. It's so sad just to see the reality of how we've been treated in the country. Because when you think about it, our nation is really don't deserve this treatment, because we're not bad people. We come in here to work. We help in the country. Just imagine America without Haitians, without immigrants, especially Haitians, because I don't know what's happening with him and Haitians. I really don't know, because for some reason he doesn't like us. We're not the only immigrants in the country, but with Haitian, he always got something to say about us. But what have we been doing is work hard. And when he's talking about make America great again, how he's going to make it great without us? Look here, he cuts off a lot of employment, right, in the state. And when you're looking at the warehouses, they need people to work. And the Haitians cannot go to work. So now they're missing a lot of employment. They're missing a lot of things. What about the taxpayers and everything? Because we're here working and paying tax and everything. So it's affecting everybody. It's affecting the country. And it's affecting us because I believe it's affecting us more of like the stress behind it, because it's really stressful. Because we got family. We got, a lot of families here and back home, especially the people that came here doing the payroll program on Biden. So now they cannot work. These people, they were welcomed by Biden to come in the country with their family. Now they're in the country, they can't work. How are they gonna do? How are they gonna leave? They have kids, they have a whole family in the country. Now you're telling them they can't work, they have to go back home, or it's just not fair. It's not fair.
No.
Yeah.
I've worked and volunteered in the Haitian community in Indianapolis for over a decade. Mm-hmm. This is an incredible community filled with artists, entrepreneurs, just hardworking people who are trying to contribute to the culture of the city and raise their families. Mm-hmm. How do you describe the impact of this community in Indianapolis? We can see it now on the east side.
Yeah.
Buildings that were vacant a year ago now are home to markets, restaurants. They're renting space here in the city, contributing to the culture in positive ways. How do you describe the impact of Haitians here?
It has done a big impact. And me as a business owner, as entrepreneur, it is impacting my business as well. I do real estate, and in the real estate markets, a lot of immigrants are buying homes. A lot of us is buying homes. And now it's affecting everyone. The market is not the same. And it's not just for the real estate business. It's everything. The restaurant, even their business, the warehouses. Everybody just sit home, they're not working. They can't work. So it's affecting everywhere. And traveling, they're scared to travel. The trauma about just sitting home, because, I don't know if you've seen videos where, these ICE, handcuffing, like the criminals. We're not criminal. We're not. So it's just affecting everyone's, and the trauma is just the worst. It's just the worst, yeah.
Yeah. I hate to bring this subject up. Your music is very positive and uplifting, and I hate to bring this up, but I think it's important for the community to hear your perspective on this.
It is important, and thank you for bringing this up. And me personally, a lot of time, I don't really like to talk about those stuff, because when I think about, us being the first Black, country that took our independence, and the way we always been strong. And I know my culture, and to see how now we've been humiliated in front of this country is just not fair. So when I hear people talk about it, a lot of time I just go silent, because it's just too much to say. And we've been talking about this country for so long, and I'm not seeing any changing. And I'm like, what can I've done? Nothing. And the fact that the way you feel like it's not on us. You feel like it's not on us, because if it was on us, the way we love our country, if there was something to do to fix it, we would have fixed it. But it's too much for us. Yeah.
No, I appreciate you sharing that and putting it into the historical perspective of the Haitian Revolution and Toussaint Louverture, which inspired people all over North America and South America to fight for freedom. So that's a great point to make. I thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Oltanie, I do want to go back to music. There are a couple more songs you've put out that I want to share. The next track I'm going to play is Kale Ko.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I think you're singing in Creole on this track. Tell us
Yes.
about this piece before we listen.
So Kale Ko, it's 100 Creole. So I'm sorry to you that don't understand it. But yeah, so this track talks about women beauty, empowerment, uplifting. So, it's just me. It's featuring another Haitian artist called Toby Mbake. So it's just us telling the women how beautiful you are and how strong you are. No matter like how you look, if you look skinny, if you oversized or whatever, if your skin black, if your skin light, you are beautiful and you are welcome in this world. So I just love that song, and the impact this song has made in a lot of lives. I'm just so honored because they really love that song. And when you listen to that song, if you really understand it, you'll be like, wow, this is my song. I need to hear this. Like there's a part where I'm saying, even if you don't wear makeup, even if you don't wear wigs, you're still beautiful. Not because you cannot wear them, but you have to be able to feel comfortable on your skin without wearing anything and still looking at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. I don't have a fake hair, but I'm still beautiful. But if I want some extra, as a woman, we need that. And I'm still beautiful. Yeah, that's what the song is about.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing them, the lyrics, the meaning. We're going to listen to that track now. This is Oltanie with Kale Ko. That was Oltanie with Kale Ko. Oltanie is my guest this week. Oltanie, before we go today, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about any future projects you have coming up. You've been releasing music pretty consistently. Do you have anything waiting in the pipeline to put out soon?
Actually, I do have a few upcoming projects, but undecided what's next because I have a few. But, I'm always working, and I want to be more consistent this year, not release just one or two songs. So, yeah, I have a few things coming up. So the best way is just stay connected with me on the social media because I do announce whatever is coming next. So, all my pages is Oltanie, which is Oltanie. You will find me everywhere, anywhere. And, yeah.
You plan to stay in Indianapolis for the near future anyway, or?
Actually, let's see how it goes.
I hear you.
I don't want to say I'm tired of it already, but I feel in the box that I want to explode. Like, the box is just too small for me.
Yeah.
But I do want to take more time over here. Yeah, but I don't know for how long. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I want to end with the track Ale Ale Net. Anything you want to say before we listen?
Thank you for all the listeners, and thank you WFYI for the invitation. And we'll catch on the social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Oltanie. Appreciate all the music you're making. I hope you stay in Indiana for a long time. But good luck.
Even if I leave,
regardless.
I'll come back to visit you.
Good. Let's end with, I think you put this song out in 2023?
Something like that.
Yeah, this is Oltanie with Ale Ale Net. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
La vie n'fay en place publique pour entrer sortir l'air vle. Ni li pa l'église pour venir chercher pas dans l'air vle. Ou pas bon qui témoin ou à gêner l'autre. Si li brise que ou pas la caille moi pour venir frapper pas non. Ale net. Ale net.
Cultural Manifesto will return after this short break. I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. The keyboardist and bandleader Rodney Stepp has been performing in Indianapolis for over 60 years. Stepp rose to prominence in the late 1960s with his high school band, The Diplomats. The Diplomats performed with major R&B stars and scored a local hit with their song Humbug, issued by Lamp Records in 1969. During the early 1970s, Stepp toured the world as keyboardist and assistant music director for the legendary soul group The Spinners. But he eventually grew tired of working as a sideman for The Spinners. He wanted to explore his own musical ideas. So in the late 1970s, he returned to Naptown to form Rapture. This year, a new compilation of Rapture's music was issued by Now Again Records in California. The album features previously unreleased music from a 1977 session Stepp recorded with Rapture. Rodney Stepp will join me in a moment to discuss his work with Rapture. But first, let's hear some music from the band. This is Rapture with Happiness Is.
Happiness is being closer to you and holding you tightly is my wish come true. Happiness is not saying goodbye when leaving each other. There's no need to cry. Happiness can take you higher, take you higher, make your heart beat with desire, so much desire.
That was Rapture with Happiness Is. I recently spoke with Rapture's bandleader and keyboardist, Rodney Stepp. Let's join our conversation. Rodney, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on the release of the Rapture album.
Oh, man, we've been waiting on this, man. Well, actually, I can actually say 48 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 48 years we've been waiting for this.
We've talked a lot on past episodes about your musical history here in Indianapolis, growing up on Indiana Avenue. And today I want to focus on Rapture. You know, you mentioned it's been 48 years since this music was recorded. In 1977, you took a group of musicians from Indianapolis to Mantra Studios in Chicago and recorded these sessions. It's incredible music. It was shelved. It's been shelved for almost 50 years. Just tell us how it feels to see this music out now. How does this all feel?
Oh, it feels great. And we, thanks goes out to Now Again Records and Ethan, and especially you, too, as well. You guys worked it tirelessly and effortlessly to get this project out and going. And, man, I tell you, I'm thankful, and I pray that the rest of the guys are really thankful for this, because it's not about money. It's not about any of that. It's just the fact that that group was so good and had gone practically almost everywhere in the States. We had a great following, and it's nice to know that maybe a few of us that are still around today can go say, hey, I'm going to go get that, because that was my band back in the day,
You recorded this album with Rapture in 1977 at a time when you were really on top of the musical world. At that point in your life, you were touring with the Spinners as a keyboardist and assistant musical director. The band was one of the hottest groups in the world at that point. They were having top 40 hit after top 40 hit. You were playing on the Grammys, on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, on Soul Train. Why, at that moment in your life, did you want to come back here in Indianapolis and start this group?
Well, after I got my kind of teeth wet, so to speak, out there on the road, I learned a lot. The Spinners that was a great education between the record labels, the producers, the managers, the whole nine yards. What a great education that was. But I always wanted to have my own group. I had my own group since I was 13 years old. And it was like, okay, I felt like I had learned a lot about the industry, and I felt it was time because, there's only so much a backup musician can do. And I felt like when Felipe Wynn left the group, and Tom Bell said that he wasn't going to produce any more Spinner records if Felipe left, it was kind of a light bulb. And I said, let me start looking in some other directions, and I think I'm ready. I think I know I'm knowledgeable enough now about the industry, and I thought that was the time.
Tell me about the early efforts to put together a group here, because you grabbed musicians from a few different places. These are legendary musicians here in Indianapolis, some of whom went on to have a national impact.
Well, a lot of people would say I stole their musicians, okay? Because, there was a band called Amnesty here, and I went and got Herman Walker. We called him Squally. The other guys, the core guys, Harry, Lonnie, those two guys were with a group called Shadrach. And Shadrach was playing at Nedelicky's and the Function Junction, Loose Caboose up there on 38th Street. And when I would come home, because I wasn't living here then, but when I would come home, they were my favorite band, and especially with me and Lonnie, we were like teenage, just you see Lonnie, you see me, and when we were teenagers. I got Harry, who used to be with Betty Wright, the drummer with Betty Wright. He was home. Greg Russell. Then I had a guy named Tony Hayes, who was, Philip Bailey plus. Tony was phenomenal, man. Had a falsetto and had range like you wouldn't believe. I started with Alfonso Surrett, who had been with Curtis Mayfield and Leroy Hudson. Rodney Voorhees and I both, who were with the Spinners. He was the bass player, and we decided to start this group, but we started it with recording. We didn't start it live.
Since you mentioned Alfonso Surrett, I did want to ask you about him. This is a guy to many people, he's a legend in soul music. You mentioned he worked with Curtis Mayfield, Leroy Hudson. He also sang with Aretha Franklin. He co-wrote the song Closer to the Source, which is a classic song. I think Dizzy Gillespie recorded a version of it. That's how meaningful that song was. This is a guy out of Crispus Attucks High School, an Indianapolis guy that not a lot of people talk about. Tell us about Alfonso Surrett, and is there a track on the record that really features him in some way?
Yeah, there's quite a few. The ad-lib and In My Life, Playing Around, and Oh, I Love You So. Those three tracks, okay. Alfonso's really featured on a lot.
Tell us about him, yeah.
And, you were right. Well, Alfonso started here. I believe, was the group The Implements?
The Implements, I believe it was a vocal group, yeah.
That's, from there, he went in another direction. We all went in different directions, but we all ended up kind of merging back together in some kind of way, And then once he came off the road, he became a pastor and had his own church in Chicago, and he's been doing quite well.
Yeah, you mentioned the song In My Life, which kicks off the record.
Mm-hmm.
An amazing song. Let's listen to In My Life.
All
this
right.
is Rapture.
In my life, there's been so many places. In my life, Lord knows there's been many faces. In my life, there's been times when I was down and out. In my life, in my life. I've got to get you out of my mind, yeah. It's so hard, but I've got to try.
That was Rapture with In My Life. Rapture was a dominating force in the Indianapolis funk scene of the late 1970s. One of their biggest rivals was Manchild, an Indianapolis band that launched the career of Kenny Babyface Edmonds. I spoke with Babyface in 2019, and we discussed the rivalry between Manchild and Rapture and the competitive club culture of Naptown.
Manchild was on top of the food chain for a while, and then Manchild got a record deal, had a regional record out, so that kind of put us way up there. But then, we started ignoring the top 40 a little bit, and Midnight Star and Rapture did not ignore the top 40. And so Midnight Star came in town, and suddenly they were at the Mark IV, and suddenly people were talking about Midnight Star. I remember LA had, before the deal, there was the Elements, they were starting to make a name. They never got up to the point of Rapture or Midnight Star, but the group that started to rise above everyone was Rapture. That was the one that was like, over time, they started to take over. And suddenly, at one point, they were it. They had won the Mark IV. At that point, Rapture was strong. We knew it was, knew Rodney was head of it. It was a huge band. It was Midnight Star kind of band. They had horns. They had a Philip Bailey. They had a smooth singer. You know, they had everything. Some things that we just didn't have. The whole thing on Rapture was, they were kind of our competition. I think we had to be a little bothered that they took our spot. And I don't know that we knew how to get it back. So because they were powerful. And then there was the rumor that they was signing up to Earth, Wind & Fire. They had got to deal with Earth, Fire. They was going to go make big records and stuff. I can only imagine, I can't completely remember our feelings, but I can only imagine that we were kind of feeling like, hate to see that happen. You know, I can't imagine being happy for them. Yeah. That way.
Despite the rivalry between Manchild and Rapture, when Babyface left Manchild, Rodney Stepp asked him to join Rapture.
Yeah, he did ask. I had left Manchild. I had just left Manchild. I was interested. I wanted to hear what they had to say. Before I went in there, I kind of already said, there's no way I'm going to join it. But I wanted to hear what they had to say. I remember being a fan of the group, but I don't know that I thought that they were... I didn't necessarily think they were better than Manchild, but I thought that they were good. And so I was honored that they were asking me, but I felt like a traitor. I felt like if I joined them, that's like the worst thing I could do with Manchild, is to join the enemy, join the rival band. And ultimately, I made the decision because of that, because I felt like if I do this, then I really feel like I'm a traitor. And that wasn't my purpose of even leaving Manchild in the first place, wasn't to go try to join a group to beat them or to put it in their face. So it had more to do with me not wanting to be a traitor. Because I think they were, at that point, they were talking about they were starting to go out to California and they might have had a deal in place. And so there was a possibility of stuff happening. But for some reason, it wasn't that I didn't believe it. It's just that I felt wrong to be a part of that. I felt like that wasn't supposed to be my story. So I didn't let it become my story. When I look at my journey and I think of my journey and I think of Rodney's journey, two guys from the same town that took two different routes. But in one sense, Rodney is every bit as successful as I am because he's still able to do what he loves. And he's been able to make a living with it. And he's been able to play with people that he's respected. He's been able to play with major artists everywhere. But, you know, and more importantly, he's able to do the thing that he loves. And I would submit to you that if I didn't love what I was doing, then I wouldn't be successful. You know, I might be making money, but I wouldn't be successful.
That was Kenny Babyface Edmonds sharing his thoughts on Rapture's keyboardist and bandleader, Rodney Stepp. I recently spoke with Rodney Stepp. Let's return to our conversation. Rodney, we're talking about the release of your 1977 sessions with Rapture. This has been on the shelf for almost 50 years. You have a copy of the new vinyl LP from Now Again With You, the Rapture album. This has just been out for a few days, really. How did you feel cracking that open, seeing your old friends on the cover, a great photo of the guys? How did that feel? Was that emotional?
Most definitely. Most definitely. And, you know, honestly, it still hasn't really hit me the way I know it's going to, because it's just, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like I'm all grins with it, but emotion-wise, I'm kind of holding in because we've had so many people that are not going to get a chance to know that this music ever came out. I want to probably get in touch with a lot of people's families, a lot of different things that I haven't had a chance to really, really concentrate and do yet because we've been so busy here of late. But that's going to happen too, you know. But no, man, it's almost unbelievable. I think I said it in a post, dreams do come true. And when you think about it, you recorded this music 48 years ago, 1977, and it's being released to the public for the very first time. And then the company had enough interest in it and believed in this project enough to put it on vinyl, you know, as well as digital. But, I mean, to go that far and put it on vinyl as well, that this man is a keepsake forever.
Yeah.
You know, for me and my family.
Rodney, congratulations on the release of this album, Rapture. 50 years later, this music still sounds incredible. It's a milestone release to me in the history of Indianapolis music. It captures an important era in the city's history that produced artists who really shaped pop music globally. The album is out now internationally through Now Again Records. You can buy it on vinyl or you can listen to it anywhere online. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on the release. Appreciate it.
And Kyle, thank you for everything you have done. People just don't know, man. You have been just there for all of us. And I mean, not just myself. I'm talking about every entertainer, musician, manager, publisher in this city. We all look very highly, or we think very highly of you, man. And keep doing good things, man, and stay with it, okay? Stay with it. Don't leave us. Don't go to New York or something, or Atlanta. You know, stay with us.
I will. Thank you so much, Rodney. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you to my guests, Oltanie and Rodney Stepp. Check out the Cultural Manifesto podcast at WFYI.org or wherever you listen to podcasts. Cultural Manifesto is hosted and produced by me, Kyle Long, and supported by listeners like you. If you appreciate the arts and culture programming you hear on this station, please consider making a donation at WFYI.org/give. And thank you for listening.